Welcome back to Desire to Inspire, your mama's favorite podcast. I am here with my boy Derf.
What's up, baby?
Man, living life. Did you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did send you that today. Sunshine and birds are chirping, man. Maybe not. Actually, they are for me today, man. And for you, you got that fucking owl hooing away.
I got an owl, bro. I don't think I've ever seen an owl in real life. Maybe once. I did once on a golf course, but there is this owl that is just hooing away for the last 2.5 weeks outside of my window. And you guys might hear it.
Maybe you're actually being summoned and you're a wizard and you just don't know it.
Well, I hope not, because I hate Harry Potter.
Shut the fuck. We're going to have to disband this podcast right now. Do you have any idea how obsessed I am? Oh, yeah. You used to see my toys back in the day.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. You definitely saw my toys.
I watched one of the movies. I never read the books, and I can.
So you don't know. So you don't know that you hate it. You're just being.
I'm not into that shit, bro. Not into that shit.
What is that shit? Great literature.
This is why you're an English major and I am not. Yeah, I don't know. It's not for me. I couldn't get into it, but maybe once you. Well, that really hurts. But maybe once you're in Dallas, then we can have a little marathon. No. All right. Well, fuck you. I'm not going to give it a chance then.
No, I don't give a fuck. But anyways, let's get into this shit before we fight each other.
What do you got, man?
What do you got, bro? We're talking about your fucking book quote.
There we go. With 75 Hard, obviously, you guys know that I have to read, which is a struggle for me, but it's been getting a lot easier. And I noticed that it's kind of been the hardest part of it. But once I start reading, there's things that resonate with me. And so
do you think because 475 Hard has to be a nonfiction, some kind of personal development or something type of book, do you think it would be easier if it was fiction, or do you think it's better that it's personal development?
Personal development, that's kind of the stuff that I like. Yeah,
I read a lot of them, but if I had to read 10 pages a day, I'm 100% reading a fiction book.
Oh yeah, no, not me. This is my avenue of what I like to read. I don't really care to read.
Yeah. I feel it. A lot of people don't.
Yeah. So I finished a couple books just because there was one I started that my sister sent me. It was really good. I have quotes in there that I'll pull out for other videos. But the one that I'm reading right now, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I feel like this resonates with kind of the message that we preach, but also just that, like we were saying, just start, just do it. And so the quote in this book is, life is much like going to the gym. The most painful part is deciding to go. Once you get there, it is easy. And so that's a quote that stuck out with me. And then it goes on to say that there have been many days I've decided, or that I've dreaded going to the gym, but once I am there, I'm in motion and it is a pleasure. After the workout is over, I'm always glad I talked myself into going. And I think that is extremely important, because I think it's about just starting and doing it. You motivated me the other day to go out and get my second workout and stuff like that. And there's just your brain tries to tell you you're tired. Your brain tries to tell you that you don't need to do it, and all of this other mental things. And so once you actually get there, you feel rejuvenated, you feel more alive, you feel more awake, you feel motivated now to go and check off the other 4 things that you have left in your to-do list. And so I think starting the motion is the most important part, but I think that's what everybody overlooks. And there was somewhere that I heard, even when it comes to smoking, or I like to do what's in right now, and this is the lip fillers and surgeries to make yourself look X, Y, and Z way instead of putting in the work. And it's because everybody wants short-term gains and short-term visible wins, instead of looking at the whole thing and being okay, this is the long-term thing that can get me to this goal. And so I need to check off the boxes to go to the gym or to talk to myself better, whatever it is, to get to that long-term thing. But even quitting smoking, it's you're not a smoker, but you're doing these short-term wins that it makes you less anxious. It makes your anxiety go away. This, and this. And it's no, stop identifying with it and just put some plan in motion and go with it. And those little steps of going to the gym every day are going to create the routine. So that way you can keep going and moving forward in whatever journey that you want. But it's the long gratification that people aren't willing to go through to get to
Right.
that goal. But yeah, I liked it. It resonated with me.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually going to go like, kind of down the same rabbit hole you went down, where I think that it's about getting over these mental barriers. I think that a lot of times we just kind of build shit up in our head to the point where like it seems like it's so much more scary or daunting than it actually is. That's a big reason that I go to the gym first thing in the morning. Like if I give my time to like give myself time to sit down and like chill out, I'm gonna talk myself out of going. So like first thing in the morning, I get my shit together, I go straight to the gym. I kind of went through this yesterday. I was feeling sick, I was feeling down, I'm like, fuck. And so like the whole night before, like was tossed and turned. I felt like absolute shit that night, dude. And I knew the next day I had like a 2 fucking mile swim, which I was dreading already. And like being sick just made it that much worse. Like I can barely breathe on land. I'm not trying to fucking jump in the water and try to breathe now. So like a lot of the morning I sat around, I was real fucking miserable. And eventually like I just told myself, fuck it. Like you're just building this up. Like you might as well just go. So I went, and granted I didn't hit the full swim, but like just getting through like that mental barrier and doing
Yep.
something was a huge mental win for me.
Again, too, I don't know if it did for your situation like that, but you waited to go to the gym, you sat around, you this, you that. Did it throw off the rest of your day where you had to then catch up on the other tests that you would already had completed, since you usually go at 5 in the morning or 5:30?
No, I kind of like front loaded everything else. So like I just knocked out like because
That stuff
I had to,
before.
yeah, I had to work yesterday. Then I did like different outreach stuff for our business. And so like I was able to get stuff done, which I think kind of motivated me. Like, you know what? Dami went to the gym. So I was like, all right, so what am I doing? I'm just sitting here now and everything else is done for the day. Like that ain't about to
Yeah.
happen. So I mean, granted it was a shorter workout, but I was able to hit the sauna, which I think was fucking huge. Like it helped me feel a lot better. And then I ended up going on like a 3 mile walk later on in the day, which
Nice.
it's a very small thing, but it's still getting myself active, moving when I would much rather be sitting on the couch.
Yeah. There's so many benefits to walking and sitting in the sauna that I will not go down that rabbit hole right
Yeah.
now. Because I think too is that this world that we're building with social media, with like the Amazons with the 2 day shipping, it is bringing all of our perspectives of life to a different. I know you're looking at the thumb.
It's been there.
It's bringing our expectations and our new reality down to, okay, I want to do this, but I want it right now. And life isn't like that. You can say that you want something and you want to work towards it, and that can be achieved, but it's the short-term success or the short-term things that Amazon, the social media apps are all putting in our brain that, oh, I can do this and I can get it right now.
Dude, I'm
Or
starting
I
to feel
can,
shittier every time I DoorDash something. It's like,
yeah,
what the fuck am I doing? Like back in the day, people had to go hunt for their food if they wanted to eat, and I can just fucking call McDonald's to drop off some fucking shitty ass food at my doorstep.
yeah. And I think it's reprogramming our brains to think in a way where like, which is good. How can I do something more efficiently and better, so that way I can get like the results quicker? But mental health, the gym, that shit, there's no magical pill. There's no
Mm-mm.
magical serum that's going to get you the results. And even if there's like something that's temporary that you can get done medically, to see results or to see something, your habits haven't changed. So therefore, that is never going to change. And it could have worse side effects that are
Right.
irreversible down the road that like we don't see right now. And so I think it's important to like challenge yourself, because why do we go get up every single day and go and work for somebody else and be like, oh, that's fine? Like, why don't we put that same effort into working for ourselves? And I feel like that's what's getting lost, is everybody's doing so much for like other people, and not like me doing something for you, but me doing something for this big guy, this
Corporation.
corporation. Yeah. And we're putting in the hours and the work to go and do that. But then once we get off of those hours, we don't do anything to improve ourselves.
I was
And
actually thinking about this today, dude. Like, we want instant gratification so much, but like, we also live in an era where if you really want to see success, you're going to see it faster than you would have 50 years ago. Like, you got YouTube, you got fucking Google. Anything you want to learn is there. So you can, at the end of the day, like, you're going to fucking experience this gratification way earlier than you really should. So, like, just
yeah,
put in some fucking work. People just want it handed to them. Like, they don't actually want to work at all.
yeah. And it's like, we all have these like dream bodies or these dream, or big aspirations in life to like achieve X, Y, and Z, whatever like yours are. And even like with us starting this like DTI journey, I noticed that like it's very easy to get off track to do the weekly cadences that we have or the simple tracking of the follow-ups that we have. And like
Yep.
we're seeing growth and we're seeing a lot more people like engaging and reaching out to us and having conversations that people on the outside don't see.
Right.
And I think it's just important to look at all of that and realize like we want to create a difference. We want to have an impact, but none of that's going to happen unless we do this grunt little bitch work in the beginning in order to start creating something and manifesting it into a belief. And that's the same way with our mental and physical health. It's like, we know there's a problem and we know that we want our bodies to get to this goal. Well, why don't you start? Because what happens when you lose like 5 pounds and then all of a sudden that goal changes? And now you have a new goal because you have new motivation and new drive because you see the results coming. And so then you take it this way and you keep going, but you're working towards that overall picture that you originally painted. It's just playing out differently because now you get more motivated in different aspects. You see different people, you start following different accounts, you start eating different foods. And then you're like, holy shit. Like, I didn't think that I would ever have the motivation to be in the fitness industry because when I was looking at it, it intimidated me. And I didn't want to get in because everybody was so beefy and bulky. And to go into the gym, you have to lift these heavy weights where you don't. And when you start realizing, like, I don't ego lift at all. Like, I don't try to max out bench. I don't try to max out squat. You can, and that's fine. But like, I focus on form and tempo now, and I'm seeing more results than I ever have. But I would have never found that if I didn't get more educated, if I didn't start this journey and start seeing results in my body, my mindset to be like, all right, now I'm going to go and tackle this. Now I'm going to tackle that. And now guess what? We're helping other people. And it's so gratifying. But the process to get to where we are right now, where we do have like a couple clients or we have like people that we're seeing come on monthly and these results, and I could go on, but the journey would have never started if they didn't step foot in the gym or if they didn't start the at-home workouts to then be confident to step in the gym. And so paint the long-term picture, but realize like you got to set small fucking goals in order to get that picture in a reality. And guess what? Once that picture is painted, it doesn't stop. It's not like you get to this point and you got to stop working at it.
The first goal should be get in the gym. I don't know where I fucking heard this. You might have heard it before too. That there was this dude who wanted to like, he had a lot of weight to lose. And like he finally got a trainer. The trainer told him to go for the gym, but stay no longer than 5 minutes. So he, for like a month. So this dude would go to the gym, he'd be there for 5 minutes. And it's just programming your mind like that. I can come in here, like this is a place for me. And then after a month, like then he started doing workouts. And it was like he was already so much more comfortable because he'd gotten into the habit of just walking through those doors. And I think that that's the scariest part for a lot of people, is just stepping into the unknown and kind of taking on something that they're not used to. So it's like, yeah, like once you lose 5 pounds or you lose 10 pounds, it's like, now I'm motivated. Now like I see the results. But you're never going to see those results until you actually start implementing it into your life and take action. Like these results aren't just going to happen. Like you need to do something. And whether that just be going for a walk, whether that be eating healthier, just do something to shift the momentum in a positive way.
Yeah. I had somebody reach out to me and they changed up their, it's not a client of mine, just somebody that through like our platforms reached out and was letting me know that just by walking and changing their diet up a little bit, they sent before and after photos and there was like a huge gain. And taking 90 minutes out of your week can affect and improve you so much physically, and you can actually see results. But everybody thinks that you need to go into the gym in home or at the actual gym for hours.
And an hour a day, 5 days a week, literally going there for 30 minutes, 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Something is better than nothing.
5-6 days a week. Like
something is better than
going.
Nothing.
Yep. Yeah. And the book Atomic Habits, the one that my sister sent me, because I sent her a book and she said that she would read it before Valentine's Day or something. And I was like, all right, if you don't, then you have to like get me something. Like it was some little like bet because I knew she wasn't going to do it.
Did she do it?
And
did she do it?
Not by that deadline. She did end up finishing it. But so she sent me a book and it was the Atomic Habits. And they were talking about program, and this is a thing where I don't really agree with habits, because you don't want to get too stuck in a certain way, because
Right.
then you don't think. And so when I talk about this, I don't fully agree with it, but I agree with the concept to get started on something. And so they were talking about, like, if you want to start at the gym, you got to like reprogram your mind. And so you go to work, you get home, and your gym clothes are sitting on your bed. And you know that if you put those gym clothes on, you're going to go to the gym. And so it's training your mind to, okay, put those on before I sit on the couch, and I'm going to go to the gym. And so you start going to the gym, and you get there, and I think he even talks about like for 5 minutes a day for a week or like a month or something. So that way you start getting there, you get comfortable, all of this stuff. And so then you get home from the gym and you change into your other clothes, and your body's like, okay, cool. Now we cook dinner and we sit on the couch for a little bit. And then when you go to bed, one of your other goals was to start reading more. So now your book's on your pillow. So that way, when you pick up your book, your brain, or when you are ready to go to bed, you'll have the book, you read a couple pages, and it's just starting those little tasks to build it up. And so like for us getting new clients and everything, we have our algorithm, our way we go about it. And like for me, like it was a lot thrown at me, the way that we're doing this and what we're actually like
It's
seeing,
also
like the
brand
proof is
new
in
to
the
you too.
pudding.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I started a lot slower than you have, but like I'm starting to see the success and the results. And so I'm like, okay, now I'm having more conversations with people. Now we're bringing in more
Hmm.
people and all this stuff. And it's those little things where like I wasn't like, I'm going to go and do 100 of this. I'm going to do. And so I stepped back and I was like, all right, I'm going to write out a list and I'm going to start checking things off. And so it's the same with 75 hard. Is you start to get addicted to being like, oh man, I can't wait to check that next box off. I can't
Yeah.
wait to. And so it starts building you up. And so my advice in this whole thing is pick one thing for right now, that you want to do, and start working on that this week. It doesn't have to, if you're drinking a glass of water a day and you want to start drinking three, but having a half-gallon jug looks intimidating and a lot. Okay, well, drink fucking 3 pint glasses or something. Like start small and then check off the boxes to reach it, whether it's drinking water, whether it's reading more, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's hitting more sales cadence. Like for me, I was like, I want to improve. I want to do X, Y, and Z in my corporate job. And so I started making a list for that too. And I just realized that like once you start bringing attention to it and you start focusing on tangible tasks that you can do,
It's
that
not as
will
hard as you
soon,
think it is.
no, you start creating the snowball and it starts rolling as long as you don't stop. But everybody just fucking talks about it and then sits on the couch or talks about it and
Hmm.
doesn't put any action behind the plan.
That's the
And
biggest thing with like the social media era is everybody can talk about whatever the fuck they want and look like they're doing something. But
mhm.
you can tell who's actually putting action behind their words and who's not just fucking out here just saying shit.
Yeah. Yeah. As you can see, I'm very like passionate about this because every day you hear, you read, you see, you talk to somebody, and they're preaching that they want to change, that they need a new job, that they're stuck in life. And it's like, all right, what are you doing to get out of it?
Yep.
And it's like, what?
Because they don't think about it that way.
And so like sometimes like I'll give advice to,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll give advice to people, and like sometimes it comes across like as harsh, but I'll never change who I am to satisfy somebody else, in the sense of like, I don't ever want somebody to be like, why didn't you tell me that sooner? Or why didn't you give me that advice? And so like, it may be harsh criticism, but like, hopefully it motivates them in a way that like gets, cause there's never ill intent behind what I'm
Somebody
saying.
has to
And so
like
I'm
be
just,
harsh with you like that though. Like somebody has to call you on your
yeah.
bullshit. Because if not, then they're just enabling that action. I actually just talked to my dad the other day, and he might be pissed that I'm saying this because it wasn't that big of a deal, but I definitely called him on it like 2 times during this phone call. And he was talking about it was something about like a side hustle and him detailing cars. And he's like, yeah, but like it's like I work for 4 hours on this car, and it's like, is it even worth it? I'm like, you could charge more. That was my first thing, was you could charge more. He's like, yeah, but then like, and he's like, even still, I can't fit any more in a day. I'm like, well, you don't have to do it at all. Like, it's not like you need the extra money. Like, you don't have to do it. He's like, well, I enjoy it. I said, then why are you complaining about it? If you enjoy it, why is it even a complaint?
Yeah.
It's like now you're putting it in your mind that like this is something I'm dreading. And if you genuinely enjoy it, don't even fucking give it this negative feeling around it. Like it
Ooh.
fuck the money. Like if you really just enjoy detailing cars, just let yourself enjoy it. It doesn't have to be for money. It doesn't have to be, oh, I can't do 3 in a weekend and make X amount. Like just fucking enjoy doing it.
Yeah. Or two, it's like, I mean, look at it from a different avenue of like, could you buy something that would make it go faster? So, okay, you've detailed 10 cars. Now, can you invest that money into a better vacuum or better brushes to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's
Yep.
also faster way to do things, even though like that is a tedious thing. I remember detailing cars
Hmm.
back in the day, and like when you're OCD about it, you want to make sure that everything's perfect. But there's ways to improve the process. Like,
Yeah,
how can you make it faster? How can you make it better? And we actually fucking were on a call this week that was talking about that. And like that, it really is what boils it down to, because if you're spending drastic amount of time or effort on something and you're starting to get like sick of how long it's taking, then you're going to get burnt out and you're not going to do
yep,
it. And then you don't have the passion or fire behind it.
for sure. This is
But
kind of a long one for us.
yeah, I apologize, but I
No, I
think there's a
like it. I
lot.
think we touched on a lot of different shit. Like we
Yeah.
went down one thing, but I think we touched on a lot of different things. So I actually liked it.
Yeah. There's a lot more that I could like keep branching off to these topics, but hopefully we'll get into that and a couple of other ones. The last thing that I wanted to say is I got this like calendar, and we had an episode, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. It's all small stuff. That's what my pops used to always tell me. And so this calendar has like just like daily quotes. And so I keep it on my desk and every day, like rip it off. And it says, when someone feels listened to, it contributes to making them feel special instead of taken for granted. And I think that's important in all facets and assets. Yeah. Assets of life. Sure. We'll say it. But in all areas of life, I mean, whether you're trying to help somebody or somebody's there to like vent to you about something that's going on in their life, like genuinely like listen to them. They're coming to you for a reason. Same thing is like, we hope that we provide value in like these things, and
Yep.
something little hits on somebody. We're not expecting people to listen to these and agree with everything we say. But the stuff we're saying is genuine and it's real. And so if there's anything that, touches somebody in these, hopefully they reach out of, how can I improve on this, or how can I do what you guys are saying because I'm struggling in whatever areas. So just realize that, one, it's just about starting. It doesn't have to be something big. And two, do and listen and be there for people that you really care about in life.
Yep.
It's really what it boils down to. Be your authentic self.
So whatever little challenge, whether that's walking, water, whatever, if you feel comfortable, drop it in the comments below so we can hold you accountable. And in the description below, there's also going to be a link to our group, Mindset Mastery, where if you want to hear more of this content, we drop different articles, videos, whatever in there 3 to 4 times a week. So it's just another way to see more content. And yeah.
Make it happen, baby. Go out and be you. Be great. Always have the desire to inspire.